Alright, let's get right into it. So my previous and last video on this channel before this one, I shared with you guys how I started the week with a $40 loss, and I also told you guys that I only have 2 setup left. I only have to take 2 setup more this week, and this 2 setup we decide if I'm going to end this week in a profit or in a loss. By the end of this video, you get to find out if I ended this week with a loss or in profit. But let me just tell you, one trade was a miss and the other, you get to find out the results at the end of this video. This video will teach you one thing, that bad market, early morning bad market doesn't mean the whole day will be bad. You understand? At the time of making this video, this channel is at 67 subscribers. Do not forget to subscribe and like. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, let's get right into it on the chart. Alright, let's get right into it. On gold, we see that gold is on a clear uptrend. We have our highs, our lows, and our high, telling us that this gold, we should be looking for a long-term buy. Understand? So I was looking for buy opportunities. When markets reacted from this fair value gap, this daily fair value gap, it gave me a better idea to start looking for a buy in the next change of structure to the upside. You understand? Market reacted to this fair value gap with a rejection candle and gave us a demand zone on this daily time frame. Now let me zoom in clear so you understand. On the daily time frame, we can see we have a clear demand zone here and a fair value gap, which I was expecting and waiting for market to tap into this zone. Then I start looking for patterns to the upside to start buying. So when market tapped into this demand zone, daily demand zone, that was where I started looking for patterns to change. I went all the way down to the 1 hour time frame. On this 1 hour time frame, let me first of all analyze the past history before this actual trade came about. So we had a high here, we had a low, a high, a low, and a high, and breakup structure. So market was currently breaking structure to the downside before it tapped into this daily supply demand zone, which we were anticipating market to tap into this daily demand zone and then change pattern, this same pattern, but this time break structure through the upper side. After market tapped into the supply zone, I was just waiting for market to shift, and we had that shift after we created this high here, a low, and then a break of structure. This is an internal break of structure right here. This is an internal break of structure. Immediately this candle closed, I placed my buy orders immediately and put my take profit at the nearest resistance zone. This trade was a 1:5 R, but I had to close at 6.8 R because I was busy and market has already run the way I wanted. So this is the first win of the week. As you can see, market just tapped into it with this candle here. This candle, nothing complicated. Immediately market tapped into it, we had our reaction to the upside, and boom, market took our profit. Very simple. So that is it for trade 1. Now on trade 2 was Euro USD. Euro USD was the trade that missed me. Now let's go to Euro USD. Euro USD on the daily time frame, we can clearly see the market is on an uptrend because we have a high, a low, a high, a low, and when market broke this structure to the upside, it left us with an unmitigated supply demand zone on the daily time frame right here, which is what I saw and the reason why I buy, though market missed me though. So when markets are put back to this daily demand zone, as you can see clearly, market started reacting from it. So now we know that Euro USD is on a clear uptrend on the daily time frame. Let's now go down to the 1 hour time frame where I caught the trade. On the 1 hour time frame, you can see after market tapped into this daily demand zone, it changed pattern immediately and started moving structure to the upside. We have our highs, our lows, our high, our lows, our highs. So market was trending to the upside, but suddenly we started seeing market pushing down. Well, this is normal because every time market doesn't have to trend all the time like this, like breaking structure all the time to the upside. Sometimes it do come back to sweep some lows for continuing up. And if you look very closely on this minor waves you see markets doing the same thing here, clearing lows then move high, clear lows then move high. But how do you know market clears a low? That is in other words, we call it sweep. How do you know a sweep? A valid sweep is after market clear a low, it comes back to break the most previous high. You understand? So this validates this clearance here as a sweep. You understand? So my bias was still very strong that this market is on an uptrend. All I was just waiting for was for markets to change pattern. So now I've explained what a sweep is. Now you understand what a sweep is. And remember, on the daily time frame, we are bullish. and fundamentals are also bullish. And if you know the fundamentals of Euro USD, you do know that Euro USD is bullish fundamentally. So let's watch and listen very carefully. Now we started having a minor downtrend. This is common in every trend. Sometimes you come on the daily time frame, you see market trending high, on the lower time frame you see it having its minor wave. So we have a minor downtrend here, but I wasn't paying attention in selling Euro USD because I know what the daily time frame was telling me. So I was just waiting for market to do that one thing, which is to sweep this low here. So after we made this high, we had that magic sweep right here. So I was just waiting for market to shift pattern, just like this one, shift pattern to the upside, and we got that when market has something like consolidation. But that's not a consolidation though. If you look closely, some consolidation ends consolidation, because we had a high, market managed to give us a high, a pullback, then an internal break of structure. This is what we call an internal break of structure. Immediately this candle closed above this previous resistance zone, validating the sweep, I immediately knew that this is the time to strike. I placed my buys here, and yeah, I was anticipating markets to clear this new high, but it didn't happen as market didn't pull back enough to tap into my entry. But maybe next week we'll be still looking for buy opportunity if we get it, that is if market gives us pattern. So that is it. As you can see, nothing is complicated about trading. Trading is already complicated, so do not complicate yourself. So that is it for this week. I hope you learned something. If you learned something or have any question, do let me know. And do not forget that we must keep pushing.
But we must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means,